Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosa Psychic Investigator. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosa Psychic Investigator. So, guys, it's Friday. It's literally just 10 o'clock. And, no, I was going to say, I was just, had one of those days here. Nothing, nothing out of the ordinary, just busy with, the stuff here. And I was just tired because I hadn't slept much, but of course I keep plugged to the news and everything. And I saw something that I wanted to look at. And as I'm talking to you now, don't be afraid, or let's do it. So I'd like to ask for protection. A beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I fill my lungs. As I breathe out, I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources. That I create the good, the good, and so it is. So there's just so much going on, and I was just like kind of running through my head here the stuff that's going on. But there's a lot of information about an attack on American troops in Saudi Arabia. Again, this is I would say conflicting because there's nothing official from the U.S. government. And remember how they censored, right? They said that, I don't remember exactly how they said it, but they put out something saying that, like, you can't share satellite information. There's just something, I forgot exactly what it is, but we're not being told what's going on, right? But this is not even my main concern or interest right now. I know the word interest is a weird word to use in this context, but I just want to show you something about there's some events happening in airports. And of course, everything is sus right now. I feel like we're still under this cloud, like a cloud covering up stuff, right? But there's this situation where airports are closed. Not closed. They're like, I'll show you. What is the word here that they use? 1 second. Okay. Ground stop. Okay. So I had seen this before and I was like, oh, until I connected the location. So these locations are around Washington, DC. So I know, guys, it's always from like, am I on my end here? It's a little dangerous sometimes. I'm like, oh, I don't want to give people hope. I don't want to scare anybody, right? And I'm getting just to tell it like it is, right? When I look at it. So let's look into what's going on with these airports. Now, there's reports of drones and some other army bases. Like I said, I'm concerned that some of these are false flag operations, if not maybe all of them. Because just as the US wants to, or is geared towards attacking, doing this massive attack in Iran, like, again, a suicidal mission, right? The Karg Islands, that's what they told us. We also have the situation, some say drones, so something's going on, really. And so I'd like to know what's going on because, again, division, there's always the hope, right? The vision I had of the military, the career I had, many people have had. I don't know. It's just, either way, whether it's this or something else, I'd like to know what's going on. Okay, so let's do it. All right, let's do it. So, by the way, guys, I got a little light clip for the computer, so you can probably, it's much brighter. You can see the image much brighter. It's kind of interesting. So let's see. Now, I looked up the information, the latest, and it's, again, I had seen this story before. Ground stops at 3 major DC area airports. And they're saying that ground stops were called for at all 3 major DC area airports Friday evening due to a strong chemical smell at a facility that manages air traffic in the region. according to the Federal Aviation Administration. No flights are taking off or landing at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, Washington Dulles International Airport, and Baltimore Washington International Thurgood Marshall Airport. Flights have been diverted to airports as far away as Cleveland and Raleigh, North Carolina. So you would think, right, that a country that has declared war on all these really powerful, like, I mean, even right there, I mean, people, we could say these countries that have power, right? They have militaries, let's just say it, right? Military, I mean, powerful in the sense of like, they have, let's say, advanced military capabilities, right? So this stuff is happening. Like in a normal government, it'd be like there would be maybe on TV and like reassuring the population, but they are MIA. Today there was even a conference. There was a conference. Oh my God, a Saudi investment conference, and Jared Kushner was there, of course. And like, there's total silence. So I really think there's a tactic for domestic terrorism in a way, right? And like they want the population to be scared almost, right? Because again, you would think that somebody would do something, right? They would again seek to reassure and protect us, protect the population. All right. So um it's like, what is going on? And again, there were comments last time, just earlier, not last time, today. And I kept thinking back of Elon Musk, remember, right before the election and immediately after, there was all these sightings of drones. And Elon Musk, right before the election, was like all about, oh, drones, drones, drones. And here we are. And those people are silenced. So let's ask. Okay. So let me pause here and then go to the questions. So I also wanted to show you this, which the stuff that was on Twitter. Breaking: ground stop at all local airports, IAD, DCA, BWA, and Richmond and Charlottesville. Checking on exactly why. Sounds like similar thing as a couple of weeks ago, air traffic control being evacuated. The common point of failure is PCT Potomac Consolidated Track-On. Provides arrival and departure control for all these airports. I want to show you this. This is from the FAA website, Potomac Consolidated Track-On. Potomac Consolidated Terminal Radar Approach Control opened on December 15th, 2002. PCT provides air traffic control service to the Baltimore, Washington, and Richmond, Charlottesville areas. PCT controls the airspace over Andrews Air Base, by the way, right? Important. BWI, Ronald Reagan, Dulles, Richmond, and many other area airports. So this is not new that there's this supposed smell, but something about it seems strange to me. I honestly, my mind immediately goes to, are they kind of creating this ongoing situation to prep for something bigger? I just don't trust, like, this is how odd the situation is, right? That we have this, and it's not normal. Okay, it's not normal that there's all this disruptions in the FAA and the traffic controls, and this is one of, I mean, Elon Musk's main goals with Doge, right? I just, there's something very nefarious here, and I can't shake it off. So we have to get to the bottom of it. What is going on? Okay, with all these accidents, I don't think it's just a shutdown. It's strategic. It's planned. There's something going on. So what is it? And it's where I'd like to know the truth. Okay, what I need to know, what it is. So the first part of the question here is the story, because they said that this was due to a chemical smell. I find it weird that the facility as important as this one, there's a chemical smell, and then it just seems like it's not normal. So what the hell happened? What's going on here? Tell me, please. Let me get I have my rosary here with my my hands. So, okay. Tell me what's going on. So I immediately see the face of Trump and putting his feet on the accelerator pedal. He's accelerating, and then chaos. It's like a fog in front of people's eyes. They don't know what's going on, and then it would take over power. And I see an image of Trump going on national television saying there has been a terrorist attack. We have to close the airports. We have to do this and that. Honestly, that's what I get. So, Spirit, in other words, yes, I say you don't even need to ask for it. Yes, false flag, most likely. It's saying, do you really think, Rosie, that if there was a foreign power, there was a real, like, foreign country doing this, we wouldn't know other than that? So it's saying, it's telling me it's internal. It's an internal thing. And it's saying it would have been very difficult for somebody or for like a foreign country to come set up all their equipment, all this and that, and then fly these drones. And then it's saying they would have need such an advanced network. It's a huge waste of resources and too much risk. It's saying it's saying there's a reason why Elon Musk focused on this right around the election, because they were afraid this would all come out. They're saying, Rosie, just let us speak. We are speaking through to the population. We're speaking through to the viewers of this channel. Yes, there are a lot of nefarious things going on, mostly to do with taking over the airwaves, taking over the control of the country, shutting down the borders, and creating false accusation against citizens, non-citizens, and people they generally don't like. They will accuse them of being terrorists. And Rose, yes, this includes Brazil, because yes, Trump was whispering that he would declare these gangs in Brazil to be terror groups so that he could start threatening the Brazilian president. It's all a plan to take over the world in their own way, their own sick way. But then it's interesting. It shows me an image of, yes, we're showing the image of Trump with some kind of like a taser thing, being tasered and immobilized and having to leave. Okay, Spirit. So tell me more. I have a question. I really, of course, I see these things happening. Spirit seems to very reassuring every time. But why hasn't something happened? Why is getting to this point? Shouldn't he have been stopped before? Gathering the forces, it's the last resort. And the last resort, the last stage, I think everything flips. Think about Elon Musk and how active he was in the other time. There's a reason they had drone up plans. And I see this face of that guy, the Russian guy that is I think he's a finance minister or something. He comes to the US sometimes. He does not have a chin. I forgot his name. He lent Jared money years ago. Basically, I see him and Elon talking about the plan to handicap and limit the radars, right? And to ensure that the population is prepared if there is such a thing, they will not see it as completely unexpected. They will be afraid, but not completely weirded out. So tell me more, Spirit. So are you saying that this is, yes, it's them. It's not the military quite yet. But what is likely to happen here, what we're seeing happen, what we're seeing written in the books that we have access to here. And they're pointing me to these like a library in the sky, in heaven. That would be sort of like the Akashic records, yes. And it's written there showing me this book, yes, the man tries to take over the country and then the entire world. And he is stopped just at the moment when he's shutting the door. What do you mean by shutting the door? Shutting the door to the country, shutting the door. No way out, no way in. And they're saying, Rosie, there's a reason why Corina told you not to travel. Yes. It would be a little scary if you were in that position where you couldn't leave, right? Because they wanted to do something swift. And honestly, as difficult as it is, just tell them, Rosie, they're saying, as difficult as it is to see. I see that they had, the cartoons, they had like the bomb thing where they would like pull the thing, the old school cartoons, like some massive, but I see massive, massive casualties. That's the way, as being their plan to create a situation. Wow, wow. Honestly, it's so demonic. I have my, this is like supposed to be a keychain, right? But again, that creating a situation so dire, it's saying Oklahoma City bombing 10 times bigger, but coming from the air, creating a post-apocalyptic scene that would ensure their total control of the population, because the total control of the population is exactly what they want. Okay. So, okay, going back here, they're describing from the book the plans that he has or had. Okay, okay. And how in this very moment, how, and it's saying, okay, I'm reminded of this. So in the metal here, there's the last, so these are all acronyms that I've been memorizing. This one is IVB. So ipse venena bibis. That's Latin for drink your own poison yourself. And here, before it, it says, as the SMQL, it's sunt malus que libas. It's bad, that which you celebrate. Sunt mala que libas, ipsi venena bibis. Drink the poison yourself. Go drink your own poison. So it shows truly that as he's there, Trump very close to shutting the door, he's captured and the whole thing is reverted. Now, the thing that I'm also find intriguing here is that they're speaking to me as if it was in the past. So, but I don't want to give, it's stressful, right? To stick to the timing, because honestly, it looks dire, right? Situation. But he said, that's why we're telling you, Rosie, to have faith. And that's why we are using you as a messenger for this, because you must only stick to the light, because you have to remember the light is most powerful. And whatever it is they do, it will be undone. It will be stopped, but you have to have faith and you have to pray. Say. So, okay, so that's it. So so I have a question. It feels like I'm it's that time of the month, and I haven't slept much, and I'm thinking it's just me, but there something feels creepy and imminent. So is it, no, it's saying, oh, I see that the Hegseth, and like I saw yesterday, there's a 3 or 4 people in the very, very top of the Pentagon that are being paid and pushed to send to do go all the way and get the troops to be, it's like to fall into this trap and to be quote unquote exploded over there, honestly. And they're pushing to do it this weekend, yes. They're saying before the market opens. That's at the same time that Trump is, wow, guys, it's so, the whole thing is just saying that's what demons are about. Confusion, ambiguity, right? And chaos. So what do we pray for? Do we focus on focus on protecting the population and exposing them, seeing the light of God, exposing all of them, stopping them, and reversing course? Okay. So yes, That's right. Let me just ask a separate question. So just to be like the devil's advocate, but what if, this could it be a foreign country? Could it be Iran or whatever? But Rosie, it's too obvious, and they don't have the resources when they're fighting a war of that magnitude. And they know that the US and Israel have poisoned the minds of people against Muslims, especially trying to confuse people who are ignorant into thinking that Iran has to do with the ISIS methods. And it's showing me JD Vance saying that, suicide vests and that. That's not Iran's MO, honestly, at all, by the way. So, wow, okay. So what do we do? Do we do anything? What do we prepare for? Could it be saying the same thing, keep praying? Because see, the situation is dire already. And okay, this reminds me of what the stuff that's the news that's coming out about Saudi Arabia. So there was some sort of attack in Saudi Arabia. Oh, and they reminded me, yes, Rosie. They had reported up to, I think, yesterday that only 7 troops had died, and there were 40,000 troops. How come there was an attack and only 7 died? It seems a bit low. It is low, and that's why they are closing the airspace. Wow, it's saying it's a situation, and I see the Russians telling, no, this is going to happen, and that's is it. How does Israel feel about this? Israel doesn't cares a lot more about having the ability to attack and to grab territory in the Middle East. They know it's as like a international fascist takeover. That's their goal, and that's what they're doing. They know that there's a very small window of time where the population would be compliant. They're telling me people are still somewhat compliant, and they have to act now, and that's exactly when they do it that things can be reversed. But you say you must keep the faith, and you have to pray for the outcome you want. Don't let again. And I feel like I say this all the time now. But wow. So but why do I feel bad, like physically? Like, yes, it's saying there's things that are personal to you, but there's a sense of claustrophobia, right? That there's truth, and that's what's being shown to us and truth are completely different things. And they're lying about pretty much everything. So you're right to tell people not to trust what comes from them and what the media is being told, right? So I have a question. Timing is difficult, but how long until there's more of the honest truth about what's going on? How much longer can we last like this? Today is March. Damn. Shows me Easter. But again, guys, I honestly think we have complicit media. We have them owning all these media companies to try to lie to the population about what's going on. Wow. Yeah. Hmm. Wow. Yeah. All the guys, it's so dark, their goals. But you're not alone in the world. And again, connect to the light. Spend the time projecting what you want to see. Wow. Okay. All right, guys. I don't want to make it too long. Okay. So I'm going to stop here, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.